I'd like to call to order the meeting of the Greenwood Common Council on Monday, January the 7th. If you would please stand with me for the Pledge of Allegiance, and after the pledge remain standing. This evening will be led in prayer by John Veach of Greenwood Christian Church. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Let's pray together. Father, we are blessed. We are thankful for the opportunity that we have to gather here this evening in a time of year where we often think about resolutions and bettering ourselves. I pray that we would focus tonight on how we can better this great city. Father, I pray that you would give us love in a world of hate, that you would give us peace and joy in a world that's filled with anxiety and depression and repression, and that you would give us your wisdom this evening as we handle the affairs that you've appointed us. God, I pray that tonight everything that's discussed would be honoring to you. We pray in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. You may be seated. Roll call.
Armstrong.
Here.
Bates.
Present.
Campbell.
Here.
Dine.
Here.
Foster.
Here.
Gibson. Here. Hill.
Here.
Hopper.
Here.
And Lexi.
Here. We have a quorum. All of you should have received copies of the minutes from our regular meeting on December 17th. Do I have a motion? So moved. Motion by Mr. Bates, second. Second. Second by Mr. Lexi. Any additions, deletions, or corrections? Seeing none, then roll call on the minutes.
Armstrong.
Aye.
Bates.
Aye.
Campbell.
Aye.
Dine.
Aye.
Foster.
Aye.
Gibson. Aye. Hill.
Aye.
Hopper.
Aye.
And Lexi.
Aye. Minutes are approved on a vote of 9-0. At this time, by the way, welcome to the first meeting of 2019. At this time, if you're a member of the audience and would like to address the council concerning business that is on tonight's agenda, you would step to the podium and state your name and address for the record, please. There's a 5-minute time limit I'm sure you're aware of.
I thank you. Yes, I'm Dale Marmaduke, 1153 Pilgrim Drive, Greenwood, Indiana, and I am here to speak against the tax abatement for Peterson Heating and Cooling. I think our city should vote this down, and I know it's great to have our people working to bring business in here, but I think they should bring business in here based on what we have to offer as far as people and a location and great parks for their employees and things like that, as opposed to just bribing them with cold hard cash that should be going to our parks and our other things. So the regional office is a direct competition to our current heating and cooling businesses in the city. And when you do your Google Maps search for heating and cooling and all those dots show up, these are competitors that you're going to be giving money to. And that's a violation of the what I call free enterprise, when city government chooses who gets to be subsidized and gets that competitive advantage against all the others, including the ones that we currently have working here in the city. That's a bad thing. The free enterprise market is by far the best one. We know that from lesser cities that those who try to manipulate who's good and who's bad, it turns out to a failure. And I would remind you of the generic insulin factory that took us for $11 million, $13 million. The heating and cooling business adds nothing unique that we don't already have. It's not going to draw in anything special. It's just a competitor to what we already have. It might as well supplement another, any shop that you don't like to add on to that. The jobs created fails to promise Greenwood base that are better than anything we currently have. It doesn't even say the minimum pay, the average pay, the entry pay. I'm not sure it really matters because I saw that with the Ultra Beauty Supply, they promised a minimum starting wage of $11.57 an hour, and they still got $2,500,000 from the state for job creation. And if you drive by there, you always wonder if they really have 350 jobs. We see no promise of insurance benefits or anything that's even better than the city of Greenwood offers. And I think if we're going to be giving money away to companies, they should really be offering something that's a symbol that other companies will look up to and say, wow, these people are good, we should try to match them. There's nothing in Peterson Heating and Cooling that does that. And we should not allow advance payment for future jobs that are promised. And we see so many failures on that. Nobody can guess the economy. But we make these payments in advance, these gifts in advance. We're just giving away money. And sometimes, as in the generic insulin plan, we're just giving away money to people who may be sorry lying dogs. Other cities do give away money, I admit it. But it's a bad policy. Just because a million other people make bad decisions doesn't mean that the free enterprise system is broken. Communist China chooses businesses to supplement too. That doesn't mean it's a good policy, although they are creating more millionaires than we are right now. Cities that do promote parks, police, school, and traffic ease are the winners. And this money that you're giving away to Peterson could be easily used to promote things that actually draw everybody in, not just this one company. And while the abatement is only $100,000 or so, the real cost is greater because it does freeze the assessment, which normally would go up every year, and lets them pay back the lower parts of it. And the land will be developed. And when we look at the place where the Amazon plant was being built, they were paying, $500,000 an acre for that stuff, or maybe $50,000 an acre for that stuff. When you pay that much for that land, it's going to be developed. We don't need to give them additional funds. In fact, really, the funds we give them are just a drop in the bucket compared to what they've already invested. But it's a great game and they enjoy playing it. Based on those reasons, and many others, such as the article in the back of this handout, I would kindly ask you not pass that resolution giving away city money for a competitor to our current businesses. Any questions? I thank you for listening.
Thank you. Anyone else from the audience wishing to address the council at this time? Seeing none, moving on to reports, Corporation Council.
Corporation Council, IDEM, we've provided IDEM our scheduled reports and are in good standing with IDEM. We've been given a litigation report. If you have any questions that should be asked in a public meeting, please ask them. If not, be sure to contact me or Shauna.
All right. Anything from the Controller's Office at this time?
Nothing tonight. I'll have year-end financials for you next week.
All right. And then committee and board reports. RDC hasn't met since our last meeting, so any other committee or board reports? All right, seeing none. Ordinances and resolutions. First reading, Resolution 1826.
Oh, a resolution declaring certain real property improvements for tax abatement, sponsored by Campbell and Gibson.
All right, do you have a motion?
So moved.
Motion by Ms. Gibson, a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Dine. Any discussion? Resolution 1826.
I saw where we had an amended SB1 that took care of the issue with rolling in the salaries. So
yeah.
The current salary, I believe, is $41,000 a year, and they're promising 60 additional jobs at $40,000 a year.
Okay. All right, any other discussion? Seeing none, roll call, Resolution 1826, first reading.
Armstrong,
Nay.
Bates,
Aye.
Campbell,
Aye.
Dine,
Aye.
Foster,
Aye.
Gibson,
Aye.
Hill,
Aye.
Hopper,
Aye.
and Lexi.
Nay.
Resolution 1826 passes first reading 7-2. Resolution 1827.
A resolution requesting the state legislature for a local option 1% food and beverage tax in the city of Greenwood, sponsored by Campbell.
Do you have a motion?
So moved.
Motion by Ms. Gibson, a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Hopper. Any discussion, resolution 1827?
Is this somewhat moot because, as Councilor Hopper had mentioned, we needed a sponsor. Did we get a sponsor by the due date? Or the date is what, Wednesday? Wednesday?
I think it's Tuesday.
Have we tried to contact anyone so that you can see if we can get a sponsor? Otherwise, we're just spinning our wheels.
Well, without the resolution, you're not going to get a sponsor, so it's
Okay.
not moot. It may not come to fruition, but it's
Sure.
still worth the exercise.
That's what I'm trying to ascertain. Thank you.
All right, any other questions?
Mr. Campbell.
Yes. Yes, Mr. Mayor.
Mr. President, Vice President, are you talking about a sponsor at the State House?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so as that currently stands, Senator Sandlin is working with the senator out of Clarksville, Indiana, to amend the bill that's been presented by the town of Clarksville that would also add the city of Greenwood to it with our provisions as we requested.
All right,
Good.
so it's already in the works then?
Yes, it is.
Thank you. Good, thank you.
And we do have lobbyists that's also helping push that.
All right, thank you, Mayor.
Yes, thank you.
All right, any further discussion on the council?
So along the lines of what Ron Bates brought up, this resolution tonight would just give us the opportunity. We wouldn't be imposing this new tax.
Correct.
Right.
We're not able, we're prohibited from imposing a tax until the legislature acts.
And also subsequent action by this body.
Yes, yeah, if I understand right, the resolution just says we would like to have the option. And if the state then passes that and we have the option, it's just that. We would have to be something come back before us to create such a tax. That's true. All right, any other discussion? Seeing none, then roll call, resolution 1827, first reading.
Bates,
Aye.
Campbell,
Aye.
Dine,
Aye.
Foster,
Aye.
Gibson,
Aye.
Hill.
Aye.
Hopper.
Aye.
Lexi,
Aye.
and Armstrong.
Nay.
Resolution 1827 passes first reading 8-1.
Move to suspend rules.
We have a motion to suspend the rules through second reading by Mr. Hopper. Do I have a second? Second by Mr. Bates. Any discussion on suspension? I believe we need this because
Wednesday.
the filing deadline is Wednesday, so. All right, any further discussion on suspension? Seeing none, roll call on suspension.
Campbell,
Aye.
Dine,
Aye.
Foster,
Aye.
Gibson,
Aye.
Hill.
Aye.
Hopper.
Aye.
Lexi,
Aye.
Armstrong,
Aye.
and Bates.
Aye.
Rules are suspended on vote of 9-0. Do I have a motion for second reading?
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Bates, second by
Second.
Ms. Gibson. Any discussion on resolution 1827, second reading? Seeing none, roll call, resolution 1827, second reading.
Dine,
Aye.
Foster,
Aye.
Gibson,
Aye.
Hill. Hopper.
Aye.
Lexi,
Aye.
Armstrong,
Nay.
Bates,
Aye.
and Campbell.
Aye. Resolution 1827 passes second reading 8-0. Second reading, resolution 1825.
A resolution approving redevelopment commission resolution number 2018-12, amending the economic development plan for the Fry Road US Highway 31 Economic Development Plan and approving the order of the Greenwood Advisory Plan Commission, sponsored by Campbell.
Do you have a motion?
So moved.
Motion, Mr. Bates, second.
Second.
Second by Ms. Gibson. Any discussion, resolution 1825? I think as was discussed at our last meeting, all of our economic development areas except the Fry Road one has provisions in it to allow other taxing entities to participate in a joint program with the RDC, and this would allow us to use funds from the Fry Road economic development area for the same purposes. So it's just bringing this one up to par with all the others. Any other discussion or questions? Seeing none, roll call, resolution 1825, second reading.
Foster,
Aye.
Gibson,
Aye.
Hill.
Aye.
Hopper,
Aye.
Lexi,
Aye.
Armstrong,
Aye.
Bates.
Aye.
Campbell,
Aye.
and Dunn.
Aye.
Resolution 1825 passes second reading 9-0. New business, introduction of new ordinances and resolutions. Ordinance 1901.
An ordinance to reestablish the Greenwood Cumulative Capital Development Fund pursuant to Indiana Code 36-9-15.5, sponsored by Bates and Gibson.
Mr. Wright.
Yes, so with the way that the state's CCD funds are set up, you are set at a rate, and then as your assessed values increase, they adjust that rate down until the council takes action to bring it back. So right now we're at 5% as the council last year adopted an ordinance to bring us back to the maximum, which is 5 cents on every $100 of assessed value. So what we're asking is to go ahead and reestablish it again for the 2020 budget so that we will be at 5 cents again for that budget.
All right, any questions for Mr. Wright? All right, thank you. Miscellaneous business, council, election of council president and vice president. So at this time, we'll open up for nominations for council president.
Mr. President, I would nominate Councilor Campbell for president of Greenwood Common Council for the year 2019.
All right, we have a nomination. We don't need seconds, do we? Okay, anybody else? Any other nominations? I'm going to pause a while because I don't want to close nominations prematurely.
I move the nominations be closed.
All right. We have a motion nominations be closed. Second.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right. All in favor of Councilman Campbell being the president for 2019 say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you very much. I appreciate it. It's been my privilege to serve and appreciate the opportunity to do so again. Open up the floor for nominations for vice president.
I'll nominate Mr. Bates.
All right. Mr. Hill nominates Mr. Bates for council vice president. Any other nominations? All right, nominations be closed then. All in favor of Mr. Bates, say aye. Aye. All opposed? Mr. Bates is council vice president for 2019.
Thank you, I appreciate that, and I'm here to assist any way I can.
No, Ron and I try to meet with the mayor every so often, and I appreciate Ron's efforts this last year. Last 3 years, actually. So, council appointments to various boards and commissions. Our current plan commission appointee is Mr. Bates. And this time we'll open the floor up for nominations for appointments to the plan commission.
Mr. President, I would like to nominate Councilor Dine to be appointed as a representative from the council to the Advisory Plan Commission for the year 2019.
All right, we have Mr. Dine as the nominee. Any other nominees? Seeing none, I move nominations be closed. All in favor of Mr. Dine, say aye. Aye. All opposed? Mr. Dine, all of your Monday nights are taken up now. So.
Well, he's got the 5th.
Oh, that's right. The fifth Monday. Once every now and then.
Yeah.
Once every now and then you get a Monday.
$3.
Okay. Congratulations. Redevelopment Commission, the Greenwood RDC. Our current nominees are Ms. Gibson and myself. There are 2 appointments to this board. So we'll open the floor up for nominees for a redevelopment commission.
I'd like to nominate Mr. Gibson.
Okay, we have Ms. Gibson as a nominee. Any other nominees?
I would nominate David Hopper.
Mr. Hopper,
Is that Mr. Lexi?
Yes.
And
Mr. Lexi. Any other nominees?
we'll just do it one at a time, or all of it. procedure, Mr.
Well, let's see if there's any more nominees, and then we'll
I'd like to nominate, Mr. Counselor Campbell.
All right, any other nominees? At this time, we have Ms. Gibson, Mr. Hopper, and Mr. Campbell. Any other nominees? Seeing none, we'll close the nominations. And I think in the past, what we've done is gone on a roll call vote and have you give the two councilmen that you would like, counselors that you would like to see on the RDC. I think that's the easiest way to do it. Any objections to that? Give me just a second here to make notes.
I'll take the notes if you want me to.
All right, at this time, we'll roll call on the appointment to the Redevelopment Commission, and when your name is called, give us two names, either Mr. Campbell, Ms. Gibson, or Mr. Hopper.
Gibson,
Gibson Campbell.
Hill,
I'm gonna go with Gibson, and Mr. Campbell got me a Campbell for Christmas, so I'm gonna go with Mr. Campbell.
Oh, thank you.
Hopper,
I'll go with Mr. Hopper.
Lexi,
Campbell Hopper.
Armstrong,
Campbell Hopper.
Bates,
Campbell Hopper.
Campbell,
Campbell Hopper.
Donnie,
Gibson Hopper.
and Foster.
Gibson Hopper.
If I read this right, Hopper got 7 votes, Campbell got 6, and Gibson got 4. And that would make Campbell and Hopper the appointees to the Redevelopment Commission. Johnson County Solid Waste Management Board, I believe our current appointee is Mr. Lexi.
I would like to retire from that position.
Okay.
Because I anticipate being very busy in the coming months, and I'm afraid I might not be able to make some meetings.
Okay. Any nominations for Johnson County Waste Management Board?
Remind us when they meet again?
Yes.
It's every couple of months,
Yeah,
during
it's
the day,
during the day, what time?
2 o'clock.
Two-
Monday, 2 o'clock, first Monday of the month, or the second Monday of the month,
It's not every month, right?
every other month.
Yeah.
The first Monday of every other month, is that right?
I think we moved it to every third.
Oh, okay.
And where did you meet?
At the Johnson County Courthouse Annex.
Anybody on the council work down
I work in Franklin. I mean, it would be
there? Be easier for you to make
easier
it?
for me to do it.
All right.
Unless someone else wants to.
Let's
I'll nominate Mr. Foster.
Okay, we have a nomination for Mr. Foster to be on the Johnson County Solid Waste Management Board. I move nominations, we'll close nominations. All in favor of Mr. Foster, say aye. Aye. All opposed? Thank you, Mr. Foster. And the social, our current nominee is Ms. Gibson. And do I have nominations for the social?
I nominate Ms. Gibson.
Ms. Gibson's been nominated.
2019.
Any other nominees? Seeing none, I will close nominations. All in favor of Ms. Gibson, say aye. Aye. All opposed? Ms. Gibson is our nominee to the social. Our last is Greenwood Community Development Corporation. Our current nominee is Paul St. Pierre. He has been, we've reached out to him. He's been on there a couple years, but we've not been able to get in touch with him. The clerk's office has tried, and we've not been able to get in touch with him. But it's my understanding that he has done a good job and would most likely be willing to continue. So I would entertain nominations for that at this time.
I'll nominate Mr. St. Pierre.
All right, we have Paul St. Pierre is nominated by Mr. Lexi. Any other nominees? So then we'll close nominations. All in favor of Paul St. Pierre, say aye. Aye. All opposed? Mr. Paul St. Pierre, we'll get in touch with him. If by some chance he declines, we will take this up at a future council meeting.
Mr. President, so you know, I think it's, a lot of people know he's had a death in the family in the last month or so. So that might explain his attention to other things, but he has done a good job.
Yes.
He'll circle back.
Yeah, I went to one of the Greenwood CDC meetings not too long ago and talked with him, and I think he does a fine job. So, all right. At this time, any other council business? All right. Seeing none, moving on to audience requests. It's time the second opportunity for members of the audience to address the council. If you're here and would like to address the council concerning items that are not on the agenda, please step to the podium and state your name and address for the record. Okay, seeing none, moving on. Other miscellaneous business, Corporation Council.
Corporation Council has nothing to report.
Controller's Office.
Nothing.
Mayor's Office.
Have nothing.
Could I make a comment?
Yes.
The possibility to go in and apply for a position on the city council opens on Wednesday. If anybody in the audience wants to run, or if anybody up here wants to run for re-election.
I believe it opens up first thing Wednesday morning and closes at noon on February the 9th, I think. You have about a little over 30 days. All right, any other council business, anything? Then we are adjourned. Thank you.
Everyone